Hey, what's up? This is TJP, and you're listening to the 3 Count Podcast.
Weighing in at an unbelievable weight that you might hate, but you can't even
Dang, high pass, where'd you find that drag ball at?
Welcome everybody to another great edition of the 3 Count Podcast presents Now Entering the Ring. I'm your host Clifford Red Dog Miller. That's right, the man that leads you up this mountain called wrestling. You can call me your Sherpa, you should call me your Sherpa, but like every good Sherpa, you gotta have somebody who's been there, done that, and can do it more efficiently than you can. And that's why the person who's coming into the ring today, this man can be found on EWA, SWA, Flying V, Fight Pro, and 1CW. That's right. He is the superstar himself, Saul Esparza.
Hey. I don't really know how to open up podcasts, but you want to know what's a good drink?
What's a good drink?
So people like this ginger ale bullshit or whatever, you gotta get ginger beer. It's a lot more spicier. And I like spicy.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Sponsored by Reed's. Low calorie, sugar free.
That.
But yeah, what's going on?
Nah, man. One, thank you for coming on our show, man. I appreciate this.
Oh yeah, no problem.
But no, man. So we've met like a couple times. We just randomly like started talking to each other, and one thing I wanted to start off with, right? So we talked about this on the debate show, our season finale, and we were talking about our favorite wrestling matches of the year, right? And we had our big ones, right? But your match with Alexander James, like we talked about it, and it was myself, TJ Sykes, and Chaz, right? We could not stop gushing about this match that you had at EWA, bro. Like we were just all about it.
Wow, I was not. Which one did you see? Did you see the first one or the second one?
The second one.
Okay.
No, I was there for the second one. I was working that show.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, we could not stop gushing about it. And then we also felt bad because we knew the next day like you were wrestling Sicken at SWA. So you're all sorts of beat up.
That's like, so for some reason, like these local shows, they just like to run the same weekend for some reason. So it's like I'll have a match. I have 3 matches in a row back to back to back, and then I'm off for like 3 weeks or something like that. And that's exactly what happened with my first AJ match. The next day I had another match at 1CW against Tim Hughes. And it's 2 completely different matches. Holy fuck. Like I get beat up. I get beat the shit out from AJ Friday night, and then I have like a completely different match on Saturday. But that match was rough, but it was a long time coming. Not too many people know this, but AJ was training down here like during the middle of the pandemic. He would come down to my school where we started at EWA, and it was just me and him for like months, just having these outlaw trainings, and I just got better the more and more that I trained with him. And that's kind of where the matches light up.
Yeah, no, and that was like just watching the contest and like the story that was being told. It was just like just watching 2 dudes just the hate that you could have said was in the story was so like it was so palatable. Like you could taste like the tension between you guys, and we know like the story that was being told. But like I said, it was one of the, like heavy hitting matches, and we were like, I remember just talking about it afterwards, like, dude, like this is a kind of match that would be in like a WWE or an AEW card, and fans would just gush about it for the year.
I really didn't think I had anything close to that in me until it happened. And because of that match, now people just want to hit me hard for some reason. I don't like it. I like wrestling too sometimes. But it's the hard hitting. That's probably my favorite aspect of it, of wrestling. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that match kind of help my name get out there a little bit more. Kind of helped me get the ball rolling a little bit. So we're gonna see how this year looks like for me.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I'm curious, man. Like, what brought you into the sport?
I signed up. No, it is weird. So I don't know if you noticed, but I did a little wrestling in like high school. Um, and my shoot like wrestling coach in high school was also like a little local wrestler. He like wrestled for SWO and EWA a lot, and he was the one that kind of like just kind of threw me in the ring. And then from there, I started branching off on my own. But he was the one that really got my like, I guess, my feet wet in terms of wrestling.
Oh, well, that's kind of cool though, man. That like you had someone to kind of like guide you into like what to do, like as far as like ring work goes. Because like myself, like I was an amateur wrestler as well in Nebraska, and when I got out here, like I had no one to like get in touch with. So
Mm.
like I had to. I just so happily found a dude who he was in the gym wearing a John Cena t-shirt. And when I talked to him about, what's he doing and stuff like that, he was just there lifting. And I randomly saw him again in a grocery store, and he was wearing a Edges Rated R beanie. And I was like,
Mm.
oh, I was like, what do you do? And he's like, well, I'm a wrestler. I was like a pro wrestler? And he's like, no, like not quite pro. I was like, so you're a backyarder. He's like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, how do I get into that? And that's how I ended up finding my way to Sicken and then getting trained by
Mm.
him.
So
So
who
like
was that
it's
dude?
he's a friend of mine. His name's Chris Idol.
And that's weird. So I came to EWA watching like you guys, the backyarders used to run out of EWA. So I thought that was EWA. And I'm like, oh, these guys are so awesome. When do I start? No, that wasn't the case. Well, I remember watching like all of you guys when I was like 15, 16.
Mm.
And
Well, you
now I'm like,
probably
and then I'm like wrestling all of you guys now
I was
on
like, you
actual
probably
shows.
didn't. I was like, you probably didn't see me then because like I legit like I was there for like maybe less than 10 months. Like I was in
Yeah.
and then I ended up meeting Van Williams, the postman, and then Kindred, and they were like, "You should go find Nick and go start training." And that's how I ended up getting into the whole area. And then from there, just
Vam's
kind of like branched out on
awesome.
my own.
I love Vam. Shout out to Vam.
Vam is Vam is that dude. I always
Yeah.
genuinely like have a fun time talking with him.
He's insane. I hate him. I don't like him. He's crazy.
Yeah, he really is. But listen, man, he shows up, he delivers, he leaves. That's why they call him the postman.
No, that is true. We had a match not too long ago at EWA. I mean, like many of our matches, they get recorded, but then they just never get posted or anything. They're just kind of in the vault. But I had a match with Van, and like he shows up with like he like walked there apparently, and he shows up with just a plate of like just ramen noodles and like just a huge like the noodles that you'll get at the mall, just like I don't know, bourbon chicken or whatever. He like finishes all of it, and then he just falls asleep. And then by the time like we're up to go, it's our match. He just wakes up, and he's like, "Okay, it's time to go." Barely even talked, and then we just had a pretty good match, and then he just left. So there's like a weird like mystique around him, but no, I love Bam.
So we've talked about a couple matches that you've had, man. I'm very curious though. What's been one of the worst bumps you've taken?
Man, any type of gimmick match just sucks. I don't like ladder matches, but I did a couple. I just did one. But I got power bomb. There, I did like there was a ladder standing up, and then the ladder bridge. One side was on the ladder rung, and the other was on the rope.
Mhm.
There was a dude laying across it, and I got power bombed onto the dude. But I bounced backwards off the ladder and just onto my head.
Oh,
I do lots of dumb stuff. Um, Thankfully, I'm starting to realize that a lot of the things I do is dumb, and I'm starting to have more people around me that tell me, "Oh, that's dumb. Don't do it." So
yeah.
that was probably the worst bump I ever took. Oh no! You know those pure ignorance fucks?
I may know a couple of them.
Oh, you tag with them, don't you?
I do.
Hey, send them a message. Tell them that I don't like them. Fuck them. But I
Let 'em
took their
know.
dumb like they gave me a German or something. They're Finnish. They're I don't know what they
Mhm.
call it. And I might have like rotated too hard and landed on one shoulder,
Mhm.
and that just messed up my collarbone for like a couple months. But it wasn't like the end of the world. It's whatever. It just sucked not being able to like I don't know put your seatbelt on. Not that you need that or anything.
No, no, it's not important. It's not a state law or anything. It's the little things.
No.
I'll be sure to pass the message along, though.
Yeah, tell them I don't like them or their friends, especially Rico.
Yeah.
Fuck Rico. Piece of
Yeah.
shit. Absolute garbage.
I'm curious though, man. Seeing how you've been in these kind of battles, and you're talking about like the worst bumps you've taken. Can you talk about one of the times the hardest time you got hit?
Hmm. Uh, so did you see me get clotheslined by AJ?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that wasn't even like the worst one he did. If you, I'm sure. I think the first match we had is out there. Yeah, that one sucked. Like it's like if I have the footage and like if you can zoom into every face, you can see everyone just like corpsing. They're like just wincing away, and the way that and like the audio, the way that it just like vibrated throughout the that building or whatever. I don't know what it was. The bingo hall, I guess. It was just disgusting. Like I didn't even like I just stood there and took it, and just the line itself took me over. Not that I was trying to flip over or anything.
It just forced you over.
Just boom, yeah. And I
Damn.
remember just like yelling at the mat, trying not to get hurt, but I was like, fuck, 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 fuck. That hurt, whatever. But I kicked out of it, so I'm tough. I
You got to live
guess.
and fight another day.
Yeah, and then it clotheslined a month later by him.
One day.
Inside a castle. Did you see that building?
Yeah, that building
That
was
was
cool.
insane. A fucking
Yeah,
castle.
I was like, man, I was like, one day, like I'll perform in this place. I was like, this was lit. I was like, that was cool to be a part of something like that.
I didn't even know they existed until it showed up.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no,
oh, what is this?
yeah, and the way you got into it too, like even just like go through the downstairs and like you're making like all these like weird zigzags to get to like the locker room. I was like, all right, this is unique.
Yeah, it felt good. Like I basically had like a Goldberg entrance, just coming out of the bathroom or whatever, going through the hallway up the stairs. That was pretty cool. I
So
think
let's
we'll
talk
be
about it,
back
man.
there. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. They said that we're gonna be there a couple times, right? Because what That's the whole purpose of like what's going to be at that event.
No, I think we're based out of there now.
Yeah.
Like I think this next show, I'm talking about EWA, but this next show in January is probably gonna be our last one there. The Castle Place or whatever in Bel Air.
Well, let me ask, man. So after a show, right? Like, I'm just curious. Do you have like a post-match snack or post-match meal that you got to have?
Not particular. Afterwards, I just eat whatever. I don't care. But I do have like a specific meal that I gotta eat beforehand. It's always my Nana. That's my banana. I eat like 2-3 bananas before a match. And then my seltzer.
Mm.
I don't know if you can tell, but I love seltzer.
I can definitely tell. I feel like when I saw you at SWA, you were definitely walking around with a couple of them.
Yeah. It's like I hate rituals just because like I think it's all kind of like this whole superstition thing is bullshit, but it's just kind of came to me and it feels wrong if I don't. So I kind of fell into it. So I have to waste like $10 before every match. I'm basically in the red whenever I wrestle. But yeah, it's
no.
my banana, my seltzers, and then my jerky. I make my own jerky actually.
Oh, nice. I was gonna say, it's like I know for me, like my ritual is, and I had one really good match, and like right before my match, I was like eating some gummy bears just to kind of like, I don't know, just keep myself from getting overly nervous, and then I just found myself getting a pack of gummy bears like before every show, and just like snacking on gummy bears before our matches. So usually, if people are like, "Man, you got anything to like snack?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got a bag of gummy bears." Like, go ahead and just grab a handful.
Nah, no one's eating my bananas. I'm not sharing. Fuck no.
So I'm curious, man. Since you've been in for some time, I'm gonna ask you, like, what's one of the hardest lessons you've had to learn so far?
In wrestling,
Yeah.
hardest lessons. Um, just training with Alexander James was a hard lesson on its own. Because it's a lot of these like in wrestling, like the way that I was trained, it's like you gotta know what the real thing feels like, just so you can apply it to wrestling. So you're just in these holds and you're just getting stretched for hours and you're just getting hit hard. It it builds character for sure. But I think it's important that everyone has like a good basis for it, just so they can understand how pain feels, how they can understand what these emotions are like, and then they can express it to the audience.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. So I'm curious, man. Then what kind of advice would you give to up and coming wrestlers?
Quit. Just quit. It's so stupid. Wrestling is so stupid, but if I did have to give advice, it's literally just don't think. We're already a wrestler. Thinking isn't like our best, like our strongest point. Just don't think whenever you do anything. And that doesn't mean take it too literally. Just like if you overthink, you're just not gonna do it. And it's better if you just do and fail than to overthink it and then just do nothing at all. So yeah, don't wrestle and don't think. Thinking is
There you
stupid.
go. So seeing that you've been in a bunch of different locker rooms, man, I'm just very curious about you. Give me one do and one don't of the locker room.
One do. One do. I think obviously clean up for yourself. Don't be a little stinker. I hate stinky people. Like, wash your damn gear. It's not that hard. So yeah, definitely be clean before you come in. And
I like that.
yeah, it's I often get told that I smell good. So for sure, like, it's not just a wrestling thing. Just don't be a stinky person,
Right.
especially if you're gonna be rolling around with other people. And get your promos, especially when Jay Lee's in there. Get your fucking promos. I I started off like just being nervous of getting promos just because I don't like getting my pictures taken. I still don't. I hate it, but just do it. You'll thank yourself. It's like how are you gonna branch out if people don't know what you look like? That kind of deal. So like regardless, I just try to get in front of the camera. Try to get in front of the camera as much as possible.
Yes. I like that. So don't stink, and then do get in front of a camera, and do your
See
thing.
what happens. Yeah. Don't think.
Yeah, don't think about it. Just say what's on your mind. Who cares?
Pretty much, yeah. Just don't get in trouble for it.
Right. Yeah. Well, those are like all my heavy hitting questions, man. But I do have the second best segment that's on this show because the first is the Red Dogs Power Rankings, but this is the 3 Count Podcast, 10 count questions. Saul, this is how it works. I'm gonna fire off 10 questions at you, rapid, fast, and whatever's your answer, that's your answer.
So I don't think. Cool.
Yeah, don't think. So I'm going to put on an imaginary timer for added pressure. Bing! And here we go. SmackDown or Raw?
SmackDown.
Favorite movie?
Nacho Libre.
Let's go. Batman or Superman?
I'm not a nerd.
Alrighty then. Favorite color?
Brown.
PlayStation or Xbox?
I'm not a nerd. Nintendo 64.
There, and you know what, man? I'm okay with that. Favorite strike?
Clothesline.
Are you a night owl or an early bird?
It's night owl. I don't sleep.
Favorite podcast?
The Duncan Trussell Family Hour podcast. It's a good one.
I like it. And then nominate one person that you want to see on this podcast.
Who do I want to see? I want to see Nelson Bauer. Rest in peace. But I want to see him get on this podcast. This one's for you, Nelly. He's not dead. But yeah, he'll be cool.
Last but not least, my favorite question to ask every single person on this podcast. Favorite curse word?
Fuck!
It's a good F-bomb, man. That's what you need sometimes in life. Just drop them whenever. So that is all my heavy-hitting questions. All I need from you is to let our listeners and our viewers know where they can find you.
I actually don't know. Let me check my handles. You can find me on Twitter. I'm Superstar Saul. That's with an A. Someone took the ER, but I like it better. So Superstar, Super with an A. You can search me up on Instagram. This month, I'm going to be at EWA January 15th. I'm going to kick Rico's ass. I'm going to make him say the S word, which is I'm sorry. And I'm going to win the Cruiserweight Championship. Okay. And then I'm going to be at a wrestling tournament at Flying V January 29th, I think. And I'm going to win because I don't lose. I'm 2-0. Undefeated. I'm winning a goddamn trophy. I'm the best. I'm a goon now. I don't know if you heard. I'm a goon. I'm the goon turn. So yeah,
Nice.
that's where you can find me.
Well, there you go. You got his handles. He told you where you can find them, so you know what that means. We got to take it home. All right. But this is the 3 Count Podcast presents Now Enter the Ring. And like I said, I'm your host, Clifford Red Dog Miller, the man that leads you up this mountain called wrestling. And, you know, like every good Sherpa, you got to have someone who's been there, done that, and can do it better than you. And so it's never about me, but about who's entering the ring. And today you see him right next to me. He is the superstar himself, Saul Esparza. So you guys know what to do. Tune into the next episode and be there, or you just wait for this to end, you wait for that outro, and you choose another episode to listen to. Peace.
This one's for Nelly.
What's going on, 3 Count Nation? I'm Clifford Red Dog Miller with the catchphrase. But what I really want you to do right now, go to twitter.com, right? Go over there, find us at the 3 Count _ pod, give us a follow, give us a like, give us a comment. We want to talk to you guys. Go to IG at the 3 Count pod. Give us a like, give us a follow, leave us a comment. We want to interact with you. Go to youtube.com, give subscribe, turn the bell on, turn the notifications, leave a comment. We want to talk to you. Go to anchor.fm / the 3 Count podcast, and in there, you can leave us a message, and we will talk to you. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that we want to talk to you. We want to have fun with you guys, and we love listening to what you guys have to say. Also, one thing I need you to do for me, the 3 Count podcast also has merchandise. At prowrestlingtees.com / the 3 Count pod. Please go buy our t-shirts. We love you guys, and we hope you love us too. So show us some support, please.